Mm-hmm.
And you hear us, maybe have heard us mention the name Roquas. These were a family of who lived in our town, two sisters and two brothers. They were like a little on the had more money. They had a lot of land. They had
Mm-hmm.
estate, and one brother lived not too far from this hill we call Mount Diablo, which was always a dangerous place for motorists.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at home, and he apparently must have heard when this thing happened, and he felt to himself somebody's in trouble, and he drove there and found them, picked them up, and drove them straight to St. Anne's Bay Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, because my father apparently was unconscious when he found
Mm-hmm.
him. And he
And
drove,
how old were you when this happened?
oh, I must have been pretty young,
Mm-hmm.
pretty young. Because he didn't even stop at our house to tell us.
Right.
He took him to the hospital, and when he was coming back,
Mm-hmm.
he stopped at the house to tell my mother and father, my mother and myself, and Barry was very little at the time. I don't think all goes there either. However, she immediately rented a taxi. We had one cabman, a man who did like Uncle Victor's would do. His name was Paul, and she hired Paul's car, and we went to Montego Bay. And all I remember seeing was my father with his head tied up in this big thing on his head, and he was unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just upset. And I have never been able, as a child growing up, every time I saw somebody with their head tied, if they're sick, I couldn't go in the room.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, hold on
then,
1 second. Let me just switch out the tape here.